I believe this is how it will be.
I don't know what's wrong. I mean, my father doesn't want me. He forgot about me. Then Saul, he was trying to kill me with a spear. Then these group of guys here that that I hang out with now want to kill me. I really don't know what to do.
Let me share another story. I'm good at storytelling. I remember when I now became a Christian and I was still new to this thing of, living for God. But back in the time, I used to throw some serious good parties back in the day. But of course, new to Christianity, I did not know all the ins and outs of it. Okay, so therefore, I remember one of my friends, "Hey, David, so help me throw this party. You've got the party, got the good connects, you got the plugs, you know what it is." And I remember going to the party, helping throwing the party, and being there and realize I do not belong here. I do not belong here. I remember holding that party, and in my car, the party is going crazy. The DJ is going crazy, and my car is saying, "I do not belong here. I feel alone. I feel neglected. I feel by myself." And that is how David felt. He was by himself. He was neglected. Everybody was against him, and it seems that he could not get a break. Okay, and then after a while, he got a small group of friends. They were able to chill, create a great crew together. And when they were out, can you imagine when they were out and came back? The enemy went into their camp, took their wives, took their children, took everything. And in the midst of all that despair, David is hearing the background. These small group of persons that he thought were their friends were plotting to come and kill him. Oh, can you imagine that? Can David, this David that we know so well, can he get a break? Can he get a break? He's going to be saying the same thing. Can I get a break, please, God? God, can I get a break, please? But can I also say it was at that time, it was at that moment, it was in that season that the Bible says, in the midst of all that David gone through, in the midst of all of that suffering and all of that pain and all of that neglect and all of that frustration, the Bible says that David encouraged himself in the Lord. Nope, can't take. Nope. He didn't went talking to his boo. He didn't went talking to his babe. He didn't went and vent at on Facebook or Instagram or listen to this or listen to that. He said that the Bible says that he encouraged himself in the Lord. And that is the most important thing right there. Where do you get your encouragement from when you try to get that break? Remember that commercial? Give me a break, give me a break, break me a piece of that Kit Kat bar. And you looking to God and say, "God, I need a break." And sometimes for us, when we look for our break, we look for some channel to get away from the frustrations of our life. We go to the wrong place. We go to our girlfriend or boyfriend. We go to this video game. Sometimes we may end up doing some text messages back and forth around 10:35, looking for someone to give some gratification for us, someone to make us feel good. And most often and not, we find ourselves in certain situations feeling even 10 times worse. So can I tell you one thing? That in the midst of their long suffering, maybe in your life right now, it looks like you're going through something major. It may feel that you cannot get a break. You can't get a break at home. You can't get a break at school. Your teacher's on your always on your case. Your mom, your dad is always on you. Your friends don't be there when you need them the most. They always have some backbiter, backstabber, somebody on your back every single time. And it seems that you can say, like David, "Can I get a break, please? Please, can you help me out here?" And I can tell you, where you find your encouragement from in those moments will define behind you. Those moments in time where you've seen there's no way out, or are you going to do like David and encourage yourself in the Lord and say, hey, God, hey, it's your boy. It's your girl, I need help. Or you're going to look for somewhere else to go to. Where you go to a party, where you go to someone else, go to something else, to some substance, alcohol, something, weed, whatever it is. When you want to hurt yourself in those midst of those thoughts, those suicide thoughts, which, you know what I mean, is very serious, because we want to know, where do you get your encouragement from? Where do you go to? Where do you vibe out to? If it's not in the presence of God, it's going to fulfill just for a moment, or might not even fulfill at all whatsoever. I want you to know that such like David, he encouraged himself in the Lord. And this reminds me of another guy, Paul. He also couldn't get a break as well too. Being shipwrecked, being bitten by a snake, being in a dungeon. That's right, dungeon. Say that 3 times. Dungeon. And mostly he may have like, what is going on here? What are you doing? Where are you, God? What's going on here? What is going on here? And I want to share something with you here that's vitally important. And Paul was like, God, I need a break. I need this thing away from me. I've been praying and asking God to take this thing from me. And he wrote, this guy, remember, this is Paul, who wrote like 2/3 of the New Testament. And God has an answer to him. Like, okay, this is Paul. Paul wrote 2/3 of the Bible. God had to say, you know, meaning, I got you covered. Boom, bang. He didn't say like that. He didn't take it away and say, oh, Paul, I'm going to take this thing from you. I got you covered. No. Imagine Paul heard from God, you're going to struggle with this one thing that you keep asking me for. But I also want you to know that in the midst of your struggle, in the midst of your weakness, in the midst of your frustration, my strength is made perfect in your weakness. My grace is sufficient for thee. In the midst of your hurt, in the midst of your pain, in the midst of your long suffering that won't feel or doesn't feel like it's going away, like Paul, you can say, even though I am weak, I am strong. Why? Because God's grace, God's love, God's power is made perfect in your weakness. So therefore, when you are at your weakest moment, when it seems that you just can't get a break, and it feels that it's just bad things happening time and time again, trust in God. Encourage yourself in God to know fully well that His power, His grace is sufficient for you. So I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you may be going through. Maybe you're waiting for the results for your exams. Maybe you don't know what to do with your life. Maybe your family is putting pressure on you. Maybe you don't feel smart enough, pretty enough. Whatever it is that you're going through, I want you to know that in the midst of this, when it feels like you just can't get a break, and it looks like other persons are even being more successful than you, I want you to do these 2 things. Encourage yourself in the Lord, and also know that God's power and God's grace is sufficient for you, and He is also will make His strength. He will strengthen you even in your weakness. Like when you are at your weakest point is when God is at His strongest point as well. So therefore, at this point in time, when you feel that you just can't get a break, go to God and He will encourage you.